Tuesday, March 8th, 2016. First item on our agenda will be the Pledge of Allegiance, and Sergeant Drinkwine, would you lead us this evening? In different offices.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Item 2, approve agenda for meeting. Any changes? Hearing none. Item 3, approve minutes of February 9th town board and approve minutes from 12/9, 1/13, and 1/14, the WPPA negotiation meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve the town board meetings of the 12, 9, 13, and the 14th WPPA negotiations.
And the 2/9 town board.
Oh, yes, 2/9
Okay,
town.
is there a second?
I'll second.
Dan, motion Patty, second. Dan, that was right. You're Dan, that's right.
So far.
Any comments, corrections, additions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Public comment period, people wishing to address the board will be allowed to speak for up to 2 minutes each. Public comment period will not exceed 30 minutes in length. Anybody wishing to speak this evening? Mr.Ett?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to understand what item 21, the claim of Kit Stillwell.
We'll get that
Thank you.
only when we come to it.
Okay.
There'll be a full disclosure.
Okay.
Anything else? Hearing none, we'll move on to monthly reports. First report will be from the fire department, Chief Don Bone.
Good evening, citizens, town board. For the last month, the fire department responded to 24 calls for service. 19 of those were EMS calls. We had 1 false alarm on a structure fire, 2 burning complaints. We typically get a lot of complaints where people will see a pile of brush off in the woods, off in the field, and call it in. They have an unknown idea what the fire is, but they call it in and we have to go out and check it out. So had a couple of those lately. I guess we have no choice but to go when we're called. So, and then we had 2 mutual aids. One, the city of Rapids had a call into at the courthouse actually, and other one,
GMB pallet.
JMB's. They had some of their machinery and a big pile of pallets burned up. One of those nights that we were up there helping multiple departments on the pallet pile up there. Other than that, it's been relatively quiet, but we're definitely getting some nice drying weather here. Things are back to the burning permits being required for burning purposes. The town does have ordinance prohibiting certain types of burning and stuff, so if you're gonna do any type of burning, that asks you to check with the town, check with the office or my office, and make sure you know what the rules and regulations are prior to ourselves or the DNR staff coming to visit you. Training for the month, we're doing our wildland DNR training. Every year the DNR comes in, trains us on things that we're likely to come into contact with our DNR, our spring fire season. It's good refresher every year. DNR staff comes in and entertains us for the night. So we did have 13 members attended a structure fire incident command school up in Rib Mountain. It was put on by the fire chief from Monroe, Wisconsin. It's very informative. It was an all-day class up in Rib Mountain a couple Saturdays ago. We had 9 officers, and the rest were some of the junior firefighters, and it was actually a nice eye-opener for some of the junior firemen to understand what all goes on when you're trying to run an incident when somebody's house or business or something is on fire. So very informative class and well worth giving up a Saturday to attend. Other than that, we had just our normal training meetings and business meetings throughout the course of the month. We do have our Easter egg hunt coming up again this year. I think it's pushing our 40th year that we've hosted that. We're doing it at Mid-State Technical College again on March 26th at 10 a.m. I always say it goes from 10 o'clock to about 10:03. Candy gets picked up pretty quick, so it's a nice public event to come out, bring your kids up to age 10 to hunt for eggs and prizes and stuff. We're basically in the front lawn area right along 32nd Street, so if anybody's interested in coming out, I'd like to thank all the businesses in the area that have donated to this for many, many years to put on a nice event for the public. I always get told that we have some of the best candy. I know you can buy some really cheap candy this time of year, but we try to get at least good stuff, so. Encourage everybody to come out to that if they can. Just a little update on our fire safety trailer. It is completed other than the graphics on there that have to be put on outside. Bullx actually is going to deliver it for us. Originally, we were gonna go out to pick the trailer up to save some money, and they're going to bring it over to us on their way to Indianapolis. So that should be here the last week in March. They're gonna drop it off, and then we'll be trained on it fairly shortly after they come back up from a convention down in Indianapolis. So that's a nice project to get over and done with. Once people see it, and we can get it out at some of the public events, they'll understand why the Fire Chiefs Association worked so hard to get this accomplished. So hopefully that will be in the area. I know we got a few of the major sponsors from it, of the trailer, have asked to have it at some functions at their businesses and stuff. So it'll be there. It'll definitely be at the Children's Fest. It's probably going to be its first big use of it. It's going to be at the Children's Fest, and I think that's like April 23rd. So encourage people to come out and see what it is. We do still need to raise a little bit of money, so if anybody's got some major tax returns, they're looking for a good place to go, contact any fire department, and we can explain to you how you can help fund the remainder of the project. Any questions?
Don, I know, are burning permits required now that the
Yes.
snow is gone?
Yes, they
Okay.
are. Same as normal. It's an annual burning permit. They're not like they used to be years ago. It's annual.
Okay.
You just gotta get one every year, and then you have to check on the DNR's website for the daily fire burning restrictions, so.
Okay.
But, yeah, the snow cover definitely diminished over the last couple of days, so.
Yes.
And the forecasts are for exceptionally dry spring and stuff, so the DNR they tell us we're gonna have the big one eventually. Every year will be it, so. We hope that doesn't happen, so be careful out there. Just like we always tell everybody, you're responsible, if you light the fire, you're responsible for whatever occurs because of it, so.
Anything else on fire, otherwise the safety department report?
Safety has nothing to report, which is good.
Love it.
No injuries to speak of, that we know of, so.
Okay. Any questions of him?
If you don't, I have another meeting to get to if
All
that's
right,
possible.
go right ahead.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're gonna call on Sergeant Dave Drakewine to give the police report tonight. Chief Peterson is ill.
Good evening. I believe the breakdown has already been attached to all of the board members this evening. For February 2016, the police department held 325 calls for service. Also in February of 2015, we handled 283 calls for service, a 15% increase in calls. There was 20 written warnings, 5 municipal ordinance citations, and 51 traffic citations for the month of February. In the month of February, we sponsored a women's self-defense training at Lincoln High School, and we had full classes, which was great. And I want to say thanks to all the people that put the class on for us, and I can't pronounce some of the names, so I'll just say the first names. Jason, David, and Pat, and then we also want to thank Bill I think it's pronounced Victory.
Vickery.
at Lincoln High School for letting us use the wrestling room for the 2 classes that we had put on. We are hoping that we can put on another class this fall for that, so look for information on that. Chief Mel attended the Wisconsin Police Leadership Foundation Midwinter Conference in the Dells. They talked primarily about municipal police executives and other affiliate members for networking, relationships through different state agencies and stuff that we can utilize on a daily basis. I attended first-time managers supervision class in Wausau in February. Was put on by Fred Pryor's seminars. It's a very excellent training that I had gone to. Officer Kubishak and Tomey both attended the personal and professional breakthrough for police officers training through the Kent Williams Breach Point Consulting. It was a kind of a groundbreaking type thing. It was a big promotion that, Rapids PD had sponsored and dedicated throughout their careers as far as helping officers and families understanding certain situations and stuff that we go through. Mel attended the school bus driver appreciation breakfast at Safeway Bus Company in Kellner. It's an annual breakfast that helps recognize the school bus drivers and stuff that are dedicated to safe transportation for the children and stuff in Wisconsin. And the governor proclaimed the February 8th through the 12th of 2016 as the school bus driver recognition week. And finally, in 2015, the Grand Rapids Police Auxiliary worked a total of 19 events compared to 14 events in 2014. The total number of hours worked by members of Grand Rapids Auxiliary was 613 hours and a half. These volunteer hours saved the town approximately $12,000 compared to a full-time starting officer's pay rate. The auxiliary continues to be an invaluable asset to the town of Grand Rapids, and I'd like to publicly thank them for a job well done. The vehicles in the department are doing well outside of normal maintenance. And that's all I have to report on. Any questions or anything?
Well, apparently not. Thank you, Dave.
You're very
Thank you.
welcome.
Treasurer, Chris, what do you got?
Numbers.
All right, for the month of February, our ending balance cash on hand, $1,767,392. We received $500,889 in February. In January, since I didn't give a report, we did have $2,378,000 in receipts, which included some tax money from my January collections. For December, we dispersed $2,309,000. In January, we dispersed $3,865,000. A lot of that was the payout that went to the county, the state, Mid-State Tech, and Wisconsin Rapids Public Schools. Our cash on hand consists of a checking account at Wood Trust of $105,000, an investment account at Wood Trust of $1,365,000, a money market, $313,000, some interest in our tax account that yet needs to be transferred of $136,000, and outstanding checks of $17,462. And just the total amount of money collected during the tax period of 2015 was $6,896,000. And of all the money that we collected, the town kept $1,353,000. So it goes to show that a lot of the tax money that you're paying to me at the time of making your payment does not stay in the town. I think there's a lot of confusion there, but it all has its place to go, and that's what we kept. So, any questions?
Final settlement with the county, no problem at all, new treasurer.
No, actually, it went very well. She was very knowledgeable thus far. The people on her staff was very helpful to her. She recognized them as being helpful, and her and I worked through a couple things together. We had some strange things happen this year with some omitted personal property tax and some land that was split and annexed into the city, but it was also taxed in the town of Grand Rapids, so we had to get that removed from the roll. So between
Heather and I, we both learned something with that process of how to make our books balance with that. So, no, she's doing well, I think.
So apparently that person didn't want to pay his taxes twice is what you're saying, right?
No, actually, we all know the gentleman, Dale Carlson, real great guy to talk to, good guy to work with. So, couldn't have asked for a better person to come in and have that situation, but it was
He
good.
didn't mention anything on the radio about it.
Well, good.
Chris, one question
Yeah.
that came in, can you explain the investment account, the 1,000,003?
Well, okay, so when I collect tax money, I don't just put it into the checking account because we don't get a very good return from that. So I put it into a repurchase agreement account, which is what we call our investment account. So every day, the bank will sweep money out of that account for me, and they invest it in federally secured investments for us. And they just keep sweeping money out every day as I make a deposit. They keep a certain amount in the account to cover the fees for the bank, the bank fees for them doing that for us. They do keep some money in the account, but the rest of it sweeps out. And then at the end of tax collection period, they put it all back into the investment account that doesn't make any money. And then after I do all my settlements, I transfer it back to checking.
Okay, so it's just kind of like
It's
a
a
holding
it's called a
account.
repo account, it's just a holding place, but it does make interest for us versus if I would have just put it all into checking.
Yep.
And we can't invest in CDs because we have to take it right back out right away, so that's the best way to make anything on it,
Good. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
all right?
Any other questions? Thank you, Chris.
You're welcome.
Item 6 is going to be approval of resolution 2016-12 to amend ordinance 19, regulating town roads and road right-of-ways and adding an appendix, road construction specifications. Board members, comments, questions? Motions?
This was all the information that we had spoke at the legislative meeting and worked with our attorney on, with the details of it as well, right?
That is correct.
And Attorney Flanagan has reviewed this final draft that after the edits had been done. That's correct?
The others came from me, correct?
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2016-12 as presented.
Motion Kathy, second Bill, thank you. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Item 7, Chris Ginter's annual Treasurers Spring Conference, Appleton to 20th to the 22nd. Approximate cost $375.60.
I'll make a motion that we approve Chris's conference to be.
Dan, second by
I'll second it.
Patty, discussion?
Is the mileage rate on here correct? Or do we have to update this a
No,
little bit?
we don't go by the state
We don't-
one, we go by the pocket travel guide, so that doesn't come up till July.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye, any opposed? Item 8, approve contract with Security Health Plan for Police Department Union Health Insurance.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve the security health plan for the WPPA employees.
Motion Kathy, second.
I'll second.
Dan, discussions? What I did for you on this last sheet, if you want to just take a quick peek of it, is I looked to see what the average employee was being assessed, if you want, or being asked to pay. And for the central states, it's actually roughly $69.56. Is that per pay period?
Nope, that's per month.
Per month?
This is all monthly.
Versus $53.87 on the average for the police department. Well, what is not in the central note down here is they also have health insurance and their eyeglasses, that's also included in that $69. That's not in the police union's contract, so that's somewhat of the difference. What I was looking to see that we were somewhat close to being neutral, but asking our employees to kick in roughly the same amounts That's what I was looking for.
Central States includes dental and vision, where security doesn't.
Yeah, so there's dental, but the dental we have on the other side.
Right.
All right, any other discussion on it? Questions? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Oops. All right, then number 9 is to approve the contract with Dental, no increase from last year for the police department.
I'll make one to approve the contract.
I'll second.
Second Patty, motion was Bill. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Have an aye, any opposed? No opposed. Item 10 is to approve a contract, or not a contract, but approve blacktopping Lake Avenue from 32nd to 42nd Street, which, where it meets County Trunk W, with Wood County Highway to do the work. And we all had the information in your packet with them doing some payback to us for materials that are reclaimed.
I'll make a motion to approve the.
Motion Bill, second
I'll second it.
Dan. Any discussion? Just a side note for the public, we would wanted to do the whole thing at once, but funding did not allow that, so we're gonna have to do a 2-year project. And so hopefully the board will pick up the second half of the road next year. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Have an aye, any opposed? Motion carried. Discuss bidding, purchase of gravel for roads this year. I checked with Rick, we will not need as much this year. We did, bid 500 tons last year. We feel we can comfortably get by with 250 tons this year, so we'd like to seek bids, or quotes, if you wanna call that, for gravel.
Request for proposal.
Yep,
I make a motion that we put out requests for proposals for
250 ton.
ton.
I'll second.
Motion Dan, second Patty. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Have an aye, any opposed? Okay, I don't think item 12 discussed the sale of the 2011 Tahoe, and once the 2016 Ford vehicle is delivered. I don't think we discussed it in our bidding project, did we? Or not our biddings, but
The budget.
we did the budget? Seeing a revenue to come back for it.
No.
I
So,
don't think so.
you know, the estimated value of the thing is anywhere from $9,000 to $13,000. So I guess,
Tahoe?
yeah. See, it's not licensed as it's not titled as a squad car. So the value of it is higher than a squad car because it was primarily in police dog service. And that's not considered a squad car then. So, I mean, the value of it should be pretty decent, the body is good on it, so we could either do the state's auction site or whatever. I do know that Jeremy had called me this morning from the airport. The airport is still interested in a vehicle, and I guess, I think we just need to to get the wheels in motion that we're gonna sell it one way or the other. Either we figure out a way that they buy it at fair market value, or we put it on the auction site, and if they want to bid on it on the auction site, they get it so far. Good, so, if they want it. Go.
And why are we selling it? Just to get rid of it? We need the money?
It's an extra vehicle now, so that's, we kept the Yukon for our travel vehicle.
Oh, okay, I get the Yukon and the Tahoe.
The Tahoe is Tammy's current squad car, and Tammy's new one will be here, so we usually trade them one for one. We get rid of one as we take the new one, so we can recoup, you know, upwards of $10,000 on it, so we might as well sell it rather than let it sit out here and just be used as a spare car, because obviously we don't have enough radio equipment to keep it in place, right, Dave?
Correct.
Okay, so, Jen?
Are we the use out of the Yukon that we anticipated, or?
Yeah, I think,
I mean,
from what I'm seeing, it's gone. I will be using it
Saturday.
Friday,
Oh,
yep, and Saturday likely we'll use it too. I didn't ask if anybody wants to ride along on with me on tomorrow, but we'll talk about that when we get into the other part. So,
Did we talk about during the budget process, was the Tahoe gonna be used by our police chief? What's
No.
he using?
using a Charger, and he,
Oh, he is using one of the Chargers?
The
Okay.
2010.
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
So would it also be worth looking at as far as maybe selling the Yukon and then put in the Tahoe in place of that?
Right.
You know, kind of moving us up in vehicle and getting rid of the older one?
one of the issues
I
is,
mean-
one of the issues of the Tahoe is it's a two-wheel drive Tahoe,
Yeah,
and the Yukon is a four-wheel drive, so if we do need a four-wheel drive, we have a four-wheel drive vehicle. And the Yukon is in very good shape, it's less than, I think it maybe just turned 98 or 99,000 miles on it, so it's,
So,
that wasn't used as a squad car, it was used as a chief car
yep.
primarily, so.
Yep. So that one either is
No.
the value would be up because it's not, wouldn't have that squad car. Do we know what the value is of it?
No, I have not checked the value of that. But we can, I mean, if you want to, this new vehicle will be in just a few weeks now, Dave, right?
End of the month.
Yeah. So if,
So we could look at it in April again, couldn't we?
well,
It's gonna take time to switch over.
yeah, I mean, we could make a decision the first week of April, but if we send it to auction, they need a couple of weeks head time on, so it does take, I mean, I guess it don't really make a whole lot of difference to me if it doesn't sell till April 15th tax day or anything. Okay?
did you ask Mel if he was interested in a 2011 vehicle versus 2010?
Well-
Because both the Charger and this Tahoe, if you say are two-wheel drive, they're both two-wheel drive then.
Mhm.
And I understand what you're saying about one is licensed as a police vehicle versus not, so the retail or the resale would be, higher on the one versus the other.
Yeah, I had conversation with him when we were starting to discuss whether we were gonna sell it, and he said we should sell it. He was not interested in it. He wants a little Charger.
Yeah, one of his goals that we talked about when he first started is he wants us to go to all-wheel drive vehicles, just for safety and year-round driving versus a two-wheel drive, so that's kind of the direction we would like to go with the department if funds are available.
So, do we sell it, hold it, or wait a month?
I'd like to wait a month to see what the actual figures are.
I don't know if I can give you just what I see off the market, I don't know if we
Right.
can give you exact numbers,
A
cause,
ballpark.
Yeah.
I would like to see what the ballpark figure is on that Yukon and Tahoe and then.
sure. All right, motion to table it was by
I'll make a motion.
Dan,
to table.
second by
Second, Pat.
Patty. All in favor, say aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
Item is tabled. February disbursement vouchers, take a look at them. Any questions on them?
Every department's doing good until December.
All right, operator license applications, did we have any?
Oh, yes, there's one in your pile.
There somewhere,
Just
huh?
got it today.
Make a motion to approve the operator license application for Allison McAllister at the store.
I'll second.
Motion Kathy, second Patty. Discussion, hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
I'm an aye. Public reports from committees, Public Works, we did have one serious maintenance item on one of the trucks, as you folks are aware. That bill came in and it was just over $10,000. Rick's looking at his budget to see where he's gonna put it and what he's not gonna fix. I think we were likely gonna put a set of tires on one of the end loaders. And what it looks like now is he'll probably save that $8,000, and we've already got through the snow plowing season, so maybe we can wait till next fall on that. So that will be probably where he'll designate the money to come from. Other than that, weight limit signs are up, road postings are there, roads are thawing rapidly. You know, 2 weeks ago, the county said there was 51 inches in one of their frost tubes, and a week later, which would be a week ago from this Monday, it was down to 27 inches. So, I mean, in just 1 week, we lost a lot of frost, and I think my yard, the water just disappeared this morning from the puddles that were there, so frost is out in a lot of places. Any questions on Public Works? I know we do have some potholes. As soon as it dries up a little bit, we need the base to get dry, we'll be doing potholes. There's a run of a bunch of them on South Park Road for some reason all of a sudden. And Dave, if you guys find those two, be sure you let Rick and them know. And as soon as they get dry off enough, we'll be taking care of them.
Amount of salt that, or salt and sand that we used last year.
Yeah,
Pretty similar to.
yeah, December, January, February, Rick tallies the salt used from year to year. And this year we used one more bucket than last year on salt. So similar amount of salt. We had smaller snow events, which would make you think that we'd use a little more salt because you don't necessarily plow the 1 inch or 2 inch snowfall. So, but very similar season, and so far looks good. We're starting to do some rushing, cleaning up the ditches, road right-of-ways, et cetera, and we'll stay busy till construction season starts. We'll go across tonight, the top. Bill, what do you have on the Airport
On
Commission?
the airport, we had last Thursday, we had a meeting on it. One of the things we did do is we did purchase a automobile. I don't know what it was, a Ford
Crown Victoria.
Crown Victoria from the city of Wisconsin Rapids, I believe it was $6,000 that we purchased from them. They're looking at several other vehicles, however. And we did take, we are going to license it, and it's going to be insured through the commission. And another thing we're really working on is the clearing of the runways for approach. And we did do it right off of Sampson Street, which is on the town of Grand Rapids property, within the town of Grand Rapids. And it's right up to the fence where we fell most of the trees that were an obstruction. And we're going to have meetings and contact all the people that have trees for our one-way 30 when we do that cutting. The other thing is we talked about a dog park would be on the west side of the airport. In the golf course area, there's 26 acres there that could be a dog park, but we're checking with the FAA and the Bureau of Aeronautics on that. I personally don't think it's gonna be accepted because of encroachment. We had those problems with encroachment with just a small building on there. And there's other things that they wanna put on. It's a group from the, what do you call that, from heart of Wisconsin. They have these business groups.
Their leadership development
class.
leadership development
That's what
class.
they're doing.
Mhm.
And
It's their class
they were
project.
on hand, so that's still in the makings. That this about, I just was wondering if you was going to appoint somebody.
Yeah, I was waiting to hear from the commissioner when he was ready to start it. I do have a person in mind, and I'll be talking to him, and probably could do that appointment.
And our new airport administrator is doing a great job. I know I announced that last time that he's from Barron County, and he runs the airport he did run the airport for 8 years. If you got any questions, give him a call or stop in. He certainly will give you a tour of the airport. We've heard nothing yet from Rome about thinking of joining. And, I wish that would take place, but we're not even meeting with them, and I think we should be.
What about Buren?
We've invited them many times. I don't think they're interested.
They were a member at once.
Yes, they were.
They just
They were.
reneged on their deal.
Mr. Chairman, do you think the new administrator has a different outlook to how to market that airport? And
Oh,
maybe
yes.
would have a different approach to, and maybe a different level of success by contacting Buren in Rome, or is he trying to contact the
Yeah,
other
yes, he is,
municipalities?
he's working at the airport, and he's doing a lot of things, getting us up to date on a lot of the equipment, and yes, that is on his agenda.
Okay.
It's not a top priority, because we have met once with, the town of Rome, and they've indicated that they're waiting for the airport to settle down with the new administrator, so
Okay.
now that that's taken place, we will be doing something.
And there are some long-range plans that they need to look at, that's pertaining to the Sands golf course likely
Yes.
causing more traffic, that they may need some more hangar space. And that's on the radar, for the commission to be looking at that.
And I sure appreciate our chairman coming to the meetings, we have quite a crowd there.
Yes, you do.
Yep.
Anything else, Bill, that you had?
No, I don't.
Okay, you wanna move on to your solid, waste and recycling?
We're hoping to meet next week sometime. It's very hard to get a meeting together with some of the people, but yes, we will be. We'll be working on, I'm hoping and shooting for, the two choose to reuse programs, but I have not brought it to the board, so it's not on the agenda, so it's not something we can act on tonight.
Okay, plan commission, Eddie?
Yes, we haven't met yet this month, and we'll be meeting next week, Monday.
Okay. Public buildings, Dan?
Yeah, we did meet, all the buildings are in pretty good shape, and, we did start the discussions on, I guess, future discussions on, where we go with our current facility and possible expansions or changes, so, obviously, that is a very long-term process, and, we just began the conversation, so.
Okay, anything else, questions? Legislative, nothing since, okay, we'll be coming up pretty soon. Did we schedule another one?
No.
Not yet, okay. Public safety,
No committee meeting.
economic development,
No meeting.
personnel committee,
No meeting.
WTA, Bill.
Yes, I did attend the WTA meeting, and the project at that time was, the discussion rather was on the Sand Hill Wildlife Area, and this is a list of the things they do. And I found it amazing that they do all these things, and I did not know about it. We have two people on the county board that are appointed by the county board chairman to be on this particular committee. But the things that go on, I didn't know that they had deer hunting lessons and things like that. And Dan was also there, and I guess he knows a little more about it than I did on Sand Hill. But legislators were there, just one legislator was there, and on all the changes and the stuff that's coming before the legislators. And she said some things were approved, but the next day, the next week, which was on Monday, they were not approved, and a lot of it to do with the groundwater issues, so.
Seems like they just kind of pushed a lot of that stuff aside. They didn't want to actually take a stand on it, wasn't it, Bill?
Got that right.
No.
I also attended that meeting, I guess, and also found out that there's a lot of studies from the Sand Hill Refuge on deer, everything from deer to porcupines to fishers to you name it. They study everything out there, and they are very active with youth, and it is just a very positive experience all around. If you get a chance to go out there, I recommend taking a drive through there.
Yeah, do they still have that drive-through your drive-through yourself trail?
I believe so, yeah.
I know we did it with our children when they were young and enjoyed seeing all the deer, because you could see a lot of deer there.
Yeah.
How many acres is it?
Oh,
Huge.
it's
As
huge,
Donna
and
will
what's
say,
been
it's
spent-
huge.
I'm not sure, if he said it, I missed it.
You did
It
say,
initially started as a game farm, that was, and then was turned into turned over or sold to the DNR.
I have been there a couple of times for different things. It's kind of neat, bird counts, things like that.
I was just gonna tell Patty, I think we've driven through it, I think you can, it's 15 miles winding in through there, so that's how big it is.
Wow,
That's how big it is.
that is big,
15 miles big,
yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's better than an hour's,
winding through, yeah.
it's better than an hour's drive to drive through it.
Wow.
And that's without stopping for all the deer that run across in front of you.
Very good meeting.
All right, sounds good. Reports individual town board members. Kathy, anything?
Nothing to report.
Arnie has nothing.
Patty has
Patty has.
nothing.
Dan.
Good.
Bill has nothing. All right. Establish next agenda. Anything specific you need, or if not, you know how to get hold of.
Oh, you missed public input.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. Again, public input continues on at the end of the meeting for 2 minutes. Anybody wish to speak anything else to the board? Sir?
So a little bit of logistics on this, item number 21 here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at least curious about it.
Yeah.
And I assume that has something to do with item 19, which is the closed session.
Yes.
Okay, so how do we, or how, the folks listening on TV find out what this is about? Do we?
Well, I would expect that two things. One, the media has already called me on multiple occasions pertaining to the item. I told them I couldn't, I would be willing to speak to them, or our representatives would speak to them after this meeting. Now, we have to go into closed session to discuss what the issue is, and 21, as you said, is related to that. And so we can't put the cart before the horse. And if you have any questions, if you want to stay outside and wait till we come back into open session, we will likely be speaking in some form about it, but could be anywhere from 15 minutes to 3 hours. But as of tomorrow, if we've got anything to say, we'll have some type of document available for anybody to find out about it.
Okay, so at least the minutes would reflect,
Yes, they will, because they will be,
rather than just disallowed or allowed the claim?
well,
We-
typical
we-
minutes
we-
don't, typically minutes don't have a lot of detail, but, you know, there are public documents that we have in our possession, and that'd be the correct way to say that, Nick. It's a public document that we have in our possession, and anybody can have a copy of it for a cost, small fee.
Okay, or can review it here?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
mhm. Okay,
I don't think I'll wait around. Thank you.
okay. Item 19, that is the Grand Rapids Town Board's gonna move into closed session pursuant to stats 1985, Prin 1, Prin G, conferring with legal counsel for the government body who is rendering oral or written advice concerning strategy to be adopted by the body with respect to litigation in which it is or is likely to become involved. Motion by
I'll make the motion.
Dan, second by
I'll second.
Kathy, roll call vote. Bill?
Aye.
Dan?
Aye.
Patty?
Aye.
Kathy?
Aye.
Arnie? Aye, we are in closed session.